Consumer protection is the practice of safeguarding buyers of goods and services and the public against unfair practices in the marketplace. Such laws are intended to prevent business from engaging in fraud or specified unfair practices in order to gain an advantage over competition or to mislead consumers. Consumer Protection Act provides consumer right to prevent consumer from fraud or specified unfair practices. This right ensure that consumers can make better choices in marketplace and get help with complaints. Thank you.
Introduction of importance of consumer education. Consumer education provides the public with the information it needs on products and services so it can make well-informed decisions on what it is purchasing and from whom it purchases. It helps consumers understand their rights and become active participants in the buying process. Consumer education ensures that companies are held accountable by governing agencies and the consumers that use their products and services. Consumer education is a significant factor in keeping the economy moving, as it holds companies accountable for what they sell and how they sell it, and gives consumers control over their purchases. It motivates consumers to provide feedback that can be used to improve the quality of products and services. Companies determine how to educate the consumers by taking into account their industry, the product or the service they sell, and the target demographic. Consumers can receive education through television, radio commercials, print and web advertising placements, and through direct mail marketing. Thank you.
Good morning everyone. My name is Ongsu Maiti from class 9A. Today I am going to speak about the importance of consumer education. The consumer is the one who pays the consume of the goods and service products. As such, consumers play a vital role in the economic system of a nation. In the absence of their effective demand, the products would lack a key motivation to produce, which is to sell to consumers. It can help develop critical thinking and raise awareness, thereby enable consumers to become more proactive. It is also an important vehicle for building the confidence that consumers need to operate in increasingly complex markets. Consumer education is the tool which empowers and equips consumers to protect themselves from adverse market forces. Thank you.
My name is Konika Bhattacharjee of class 9A. Advantages of consumer education are to develop the ability to decide and choose things intelligently, to always demand safe, reliable and good quality products at a reasonable price, to make consumer alert, well-informed and vigilant against corrupt practices in the market, to take suitable action when faced with a problem. Consumer Protection Act. Consumer protection makes market work for both businesses and consumers. This enables them to make the best choices based on their interest and prevents them from being mistreated by businesses. The advantages of Consumer Protection Act. The law enables consumer to file complaints electronically and file complaints in a consumer commission that have jurisdiction over the place of his residence, instead of the earlier practice of filing case at the place of purchase or where the seller has its registered office. As per the Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission rules, there will be no fee for filling cases up to rupees 5 lakh. And the other advantage is the plaintiffs can attend the hearing of case through video conferencing according to the law.
Hello everyone, I am Shimantini Roy of class 10A and today I am going to speak about two of the consumer aids. ISI stands for Indian Standards Institute. It is a product certification scheme by BIS. ISI is used for industrial items in India post ascertainment of products compliance with the required standards. This mark is applicable on foods such as packet fruits, beverages, fruit jams, crushes, squashes and pickles and many more. ISI mark ensures that the product is safe to use. It is a mark of product testing. The next is AG mark. AG mark stands for Agricultural Mark. It is a certification mark employed on agricultural products in India, assuring that they conform to set of standards approved by the Directorate of Marketing and Inspection. It is applicable on foods like pulses, rice, honey, wheat and milk products and many more. Thank you.
Wool mark is a wool industry certification mark used on pure wool products that meet quality standards set by the Wool Mark Company. The logo was launched in 1964 by the Wool Mark Company under the control of two Australians, William Gunn, who was chairman, and William Vines, its managing director. AWI licenses the wool mark trademark to be used by affiliated vendors on their products as a certification mark that the product conforms to the standards set by AWI. AWI claims that the mark is employed on textile product as an assurance that the product is made of 100% pure new wool. Silk mark. Silk mark help you to identify pure silk. The silk consumer has struggled to identify pure silk among numerous other fibers. The silk mark labels are in the form of paper hang tags and sew-in labels. These are affixed only on pure silk products by the authorized users. Non-veg mark. FSSAI, in its Food Safety and Standards Packaging and Labeling Regulation 2011, has made it mandatory for all the food manufacturers to have symbol that represent whether the food is vegetarian or non-vegetarian. According to the law, veg food should be identified by a green symbol and non-veg food with a brown symbol. Hallmark. A hallmark is an official mark or series of marks stuck on items made of metal, mostly to certify the content of noble metals such as platinum, gold, silver, and in some nations, palladium. Hallmarking safeguards the consumer against lower courtage gold jewelry and ensures that the consumers are not misled by the jeweler and receive the purity as stated in the article. Handloom mark. Honorable Prime Minister of India had launched the Handloom Mark scheme on 28 June 2006. The scheme is promoted by the Development Commissioner Handloom, the Government of India, and the Textile Committee of India is nominated as the implementation agency. The handloom mark is a symbol of rich legacy and tradition of Indian handloom textiles. The mark is also a symbol of social cause to promote the livelihood, welfare and growth of more than 6.5 million weavers.
Hello everyone, my name is Swapnil Mandal from class 11D and today my topic is problems faced by consumers. A consumer faces many problems ranging from variation in prices to malpractices followed by the shopkeepers. Some of the problems faced by the consumers are as follows. Number 1. Variation in prices. It can be due to the following reasons. The shopkeeper is making higher profit. The cost of materials is high in the sophisticated shopping complex close to affluent residential areas. Number 2. Adulteration. Adulteration is a very serious problem faced by the consumers. It indicates addition or removal of any substance from the original product so as to change its nature, composition or quality. It can be incidental or intentional. Next, defective weights and measures. We all are aware of different malpractices followed by the sellers. Very often the weights may have hollow space, they may be dented, as a result they weigh less than the actual weight. The weighing balance may not be used properly, a magnet may be stuck at the bottom of the pan or iron rings put on the string to make one side of the balance heavier than the other. Number 4. Hoarding of commodities. Shopkeepers hoard commodities and create artificial shortage. This results in the consumer having to pay more for the item required. The consumer bears the brunt of it, especially in case of items needed to meet the basic requirements. Number 5. Substandard quality. Wide variety of items or products are available in the market. At times, the consumers select the substandard product because it is within their budget. The sellers often take advantage of the consumers having limited consumer awareness and money. Often, the shopkeepers and manufacturers sell substandard products by giving them attractive packaging. Hence, the consumer is deprived of his or her money's worth. Last, inadequate or misleading labeling. Imitations of the popular brands are so cleverly disguised that the consumer finds it difficult to differentiate between the genuine and the misleading labeling. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Sneha Das from class 11D and today my topic is problem faced by consumers. Customer persuasion by shopkeepers. The seller persuades the buyer to purchase a particular item brands because they get a higher rate of commission on it. There is variety in breads available these days, yet you might find that the shopkeeper in your vicinity gets only one particular brand. Do you know why? A vigilant and sensible consumer should pursue the shopkeeper to get variety so that one can choose a better product. False advertisement. Another way to attract consumer towards purchase of product is through advertising. It is a very forceful tool of persuading and influencing the customer's judgment. The product is so convincingly advertised that the consumers get tempted to purchase it. Advertisement connected with chocolates, wafers, drinks, juices, jeans, toothpaste, toiletries, two-wheelers, etc. Target at the younger generation that get easily influenced. Consumers often get disillusioned when the product does not measure up to the qualities advertised. Duplicate manufacture. Indian markets are flooded with different kinds of spurious products. These products carry names of popular brand, duplicating the popular brand in a deliberate malpractice and result in cheating the consumers. Such products are generally of cheap quality and unsafe to use. Consumer pay original price but later come to know that the item is duplicate. Duplicating items like shoes, cosmetics, medicine, toiletries, etc. are very common. Sale gimmicks. Sellers often spend a lot of money on sale promotion, the price of which is passed on to the consumers. The seller often attracts consumers by giving free gifts, discount sale, extra benefits such as introductory offers, etc. Coming up with exchange offer is a very popular gimmick done by manufacturer. Consumers get carried away by these offers. Deceptive packaging. Packaging of product is done to protect them from any kind of damage like breakage, evaporation, contamination and privilege, etc. But sellers use it as a tool to attract consumers to increase their sale. The seller misguides the consumer by making the volume or size of the packaging appear much bigger than the inside content. Delayed and inadequate consumer service. Consumer services like health, water, electricity, post and telegraphs are available to a large number of householders. Poor maintenance of this service often inconveniences the consumers. Are available to a large number of householders. Poor maintenance of this service often inconveniences the consumers. The workers connected with this service often bothers the consumers by not rendering the service efficiently.
Procedure for seeking redressal. It must be made apparent that even if consumer's complaint is genuine, unless he or she files the complaint in proper shape, address and submit to appropriate authority along with relevant documents, etc., he or she cannot expect justice. Thus, it is important to keep the following points in mind. Vivek purchased a refrigerator of XYZ brand, but after 1 week a snag had come out in cooling. Vivek lodged a complaint to the shopkeeper. He was told that they would write to the company who would send a mechanic for necessary repairs. But nobody came even after a fortnight. Vivek again approached the dealer with a written complaint. The shopkeeper again assured him for the necessary action, but no action was taken even after the lapse of 3 months. Vivek was mentally upset because he had invested his hard money to buy the refrigerator. Vivek now came to know that his problem can be solved by lodging a complaint to the consumer forum. Now it is important for Vivek to know how to file a complaint, because if the complaint is not made in a proper manner or not addressed to the appropriate authority along with relevant documents, then justice would not be done even if the complaint is genuine. Who can file a complaint? A consumer organization, any voluntary consumer society registered under present law, state or central government can file a complaint. In case complaints are more than one, a joint complaint can be filed. For example, if there is a problem of drinking water in any locality, then people of that locality can jointly file a complaint. To file a complaint, if there is any defect in the goods, if the services are not up to the mark, charging more than maximum retail price, if the goods are underweight, if there is any loss or damage due to unfair trade practices, all the complaints should be filed within 2 years starting from the date of purchase of goods or service. How to file a complaint? The complaint can be filed personally or through registered post. The complaint should be filled on a complete form. The defendant should be informed about the complaint by registration (e.d. post) before lodging the complaint. A period of 15 days should be given to him to clear his position or redress the grievance. The complaint should be water in any locality, then people of that locality can jointly file a complaint. To file a complaint, if there is any defect in the goods, if the services are not up to the mark, charging more than maximum retail price, if the goods are underweight, if there is any loss or damage due to unfair trade practices, all the complaints should be filed within 2 years starting from the date of purchase of goods or service. How to file a complaint? The complaint can be filed personally or through registered post. The complaint should be filled on a complete form. The defendant should be informed about the complaint by registration (e.d. post) before lodging the complaint. A period of 15 days should be given to him to clear his position or redress the grievance. The complaint should assure that the complaint is genuine before fixing it. Documents like bill, cash, receipt, warranty card, etc. should be attached along with the complaint to prove its validity. The complaint form should contain full details of the complaint, details of loss and compensation demanded. 3 copies of complaint along with relevant documents are to be submitted in the consumer forum or consumer commission. An affidavit along with complaint should be submitted wherein it should be specifically stated that the contents of the complaint are true and correct and accompanying documents are true and duly attested. When the consumer lodges a complaint, the court can issue the following orders: to rectify the defect, to replace the goods, to refund the cost of goods, to compensate in case of loss. In case the product is harmful to life, then the complaints demand the removal of the product from the market with immediate effect. The Act has enabled us to consumer have a right to represent in the consumer court. To conclude, Consumer Protection Act 1986 safeguards the consumers all over the country. Following are the salient features of the Act. It covers both goods as well as services. It works through a quasi-judicial machinery. It enables the consumer to seek redressal in short duration time. No court fee is required to file a complaint. The bodies have been set up to assist consumer. Rights of consumers are clearly spelled out in the Act. Consumers must follow the correct procedure for seeking redressal regarding who, when and where, how to file a complaint.
Advertising through newspaper and televisions to enlighten the consumers. In advertisements, the consumer is being educated about his rights and role of the government in protecting these rights. Government controls the prices of goods. Goods of daily uses are provided at subsidized rates at Super Bazaar, Kendriya Bhandar, Mother Dairy, etc. The consumer is educated about the procedure of redressal for their grievance through advertisements and how the government can punish the offenders. Now comes the Consumer Protection Act. This act was promulgated on 15th of April on the year of 1987 throughout the country except the state of Jammu and Kashmir. This act has 31 clauses and each clause has directions concerning the consumer's protection. Salient feature of the Consumer Protection Act. This act is applicable on both goods and services. Goods are manufactured by the manufacturer and consumer buys them from the manufacturer or seller. Services including transport, electricity, water, roads, etc. are under this act. Consumer Redressal Forum. Under Consumer Protection Act, the three judicial system has been set up to provide a relief to consumers. In this system, the consumer forum have been set up at various levels which are functioning to safeguard the interest of various customers or consumers. Under this system, many forums have been set up at various levels where the consumer can lodge their complaint. The various levels are at the District Consumer Dispute Redressal Forum. At state level there is State Consumer Dispute Redressal. At national level there is National Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission.
Now we extend our gratitude to our Managing Trustee Mrs. A.C. Broughton and our Chairman Mr. J.G. Broughton for being our source of inspiration and encouragement. And especially I would like to thank to our Principal Sir Mr. Bobby Baxter and our Vice Principal Sir Mr. Shayantan Mukherjee for giving us such a good opportunity. And I would also like to thank our teacher in charge Mr. Lionel Jennings and our junior school coordinator Mrs. Cheryl Ande for their continuous support. I also want to thank the students for their act of participation.